Yeah, this is Tactical Red again, and I'm doing an Ollie post press conference reaction, and I'm going to listen to it, and you're going to listen.
We'll come to you. We'll start with Simon Beach.
Hi Ollie, bit of a come down from the other night.
Big come down. Big come down.
Say that again. The feedback, I couldn't hear you.
Sorry, it was a bit of a come down from the other night. I was just wondering what went wrong in your mind today.
Well, that's football for you. It's
That's football for you. Do you see what I'm saying about this guy? That's football. Like, he has no excuses. Like, that's football for you. Imagine going into the changing room and be like, "Oh, lucky lads, that's football for you."
it's not like you can. It's like you turn on a tap and it comes flowing. We didn't perform well enough, especially first half.
Turn on the
We were
tap.
passive. Couldn't get the intent.
He said first half we was passive, and then he puts out the same team in the second half. No tactics.
Intensity and tempo in our game, and it was a 0-0 written all over it. I don't think any other teams deserve to win.
Why is he even happy that it's a 0-0 written all over it? After you beat Leipzig 5-0, you beat PSG 2-1, and you're like, oh, it's a 0-0.
Samson.
Sorry, Ollie. Paul Pogba has said his tackle was stupid. Would you go along with that?
Paul knows that if he stays on his feet and just shuffles the boy, because he was on his way out of the box, so it's a soft penalty to give away.
Look,
But those things happen.
Look, Paul Pogba was to blame for the penalty. He was to blame for the penalty, but that performance, that loss is all on Ollie. Don't get it twisted.
I know he didn't touch him off, but it's enough to give a penalty, and unfortunately that went against us. And Paul's held his hand up, and he knows that he should have done better in that instance. So that was the difference of the teams today. Always looked like a 0-0 for me.
Why does he keep saying it looks like a 0-0? Is that what you're playing for at home? 0-0. Like, what type of manager are we having here, guys? Come on, guys, please, what type of manager is like looks like a 0-0? Like, we 0-0 against. I'm gonna lose my head.
Why does it seem so difficult for you guys to grab a win at Old Trafford in the Premier League? Is it a mental thing, you believe?
I think home or away doesn't really matter now because of the crowds or absence of crowd, and there's no fans in there. Of course, they would have helped. I think
he needs fans to win games. Is that what you're saying? He needs fans to win games.
As well at times, you're playing against good teams here, and there's marginal positions that give you a win or.
Why does he keep saying we're playing against good teams? Is Crystal Palace a good team?
Lost on a soft penalty, and that was the difference between the teams.
Marco.
Hi, Ollie. Harry Maguire has said he thinks that the team were a bit complacent today after the win against Leipzig. Did you sense that at all from your players?
Well, we prepared well, prepared them for a big game, because Arsenal is always a big game. Sometimes it's hard to...
I just think he has no tactics. Why play Bruno Fernandes as number 10 when Van der Beek completely controlled that number 10 position? Why play McTominay? Why play Fred as a holding midfielder? All of these are questions that he needs to really look at himself and think, am I good enough to be a coach? If he keeps changing the team. The Cardiff fans, if you ask the Cardiff fans, they will tell you what the thing that irritated them most about Ollie is that he doesn't play the same team. He always changes. I'm telling you, same thing.
To pick up where you left, because that's not how it works in football. Everyone wanted to do well, of course, just couldn't get going, and that's why we have a big squad. That's why we have a good squad. And today
we have a big squad,
but we're
16th.
Performances that we've seen before, but then that's football for you.
You keep saying that. Stop making excuses.
Jeremy.
Hi Ollie, Roy Keane's had quite a lot to say after that game. He said no quality, no composure, I didn't see any leaders, I didn't see any men out there. How do you react?
True statement. True statement.
Well, first half there was no tackles, no fighting. Football is now, you've got to create that atmosphere yourself. You know, these games against Arsenal was always fiery and fierce, and the tackles flying. We didn't have the tempo and the intensity today. I can agree with that, absolutely. And
But why did we have tempo?
Our first half performance, second half, I thought.
Why didn't we have tempo? Why didn't we have intensity? It's because you played the wrong team, Ollie. This is why we didn't have any tempo or intensity, because clearly the players wasn't buying into the players playing. Clearly, when they saw McTominay and in the right of the diamond and Fred Holding when it should be the opposite way round, clearly that must put off the players, and clearly it did. Clearly your decisions are affecting the players' morale.
We were better, but unfortunately they got the penalty and we just couldn't produce a response.
Simon Peach again.
Hi Ollie, it's not about the game. I just want, it's the first time we've spoken to you since Nobby Styles passed away.
Why is he asking this question?
Obviously, that came out today about.
Why is he asking this question?
Just wanted
I know the guys.
both those things.
The guys died, and it's sad. But this is not the time to talk about that. It's not the time.
Well, of course, it's sad news for everyone surrounding Man United and the family of them.
Honestly, Simon Peach is paid by Ollie because the questions he asks Ollie are the most soft, mellow, non-threatening, non-aggravating questions you can find, I swear. And he always has more than one question. I am telling you, he works for Man United.
We've had the pleasure of meeting him, and we're a humble man. And it's sad, and of course, we as a club know we want to support Segovia as well.
Okay, that looks like there's no more questions.
That was it.
Thanks.
That was it. That was the shortest press conference ever. 5 minutes. Like, not even 5 minutes. It was like maybe 4 minutes. Because they don't want him to get caught slipping. Like, I'm sorry, man. Terrible loss. Terrible performance. Terrible press conference. Everything is terrible. Everything is terrible. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Keep saying, oh yeah, that's football. That's football. I'm sorry. He needs to go. Leipzig, if you take out that Leipzig and PSG results, it's horrendous season. Horrendous. Horrendous. Like, no wins at Old Trafford. Players not playing. Like, inconsistent performances, inconsistent team selections, inconsistent coaching, inconsistent management. It's poor. It's just poor. I am Man United. When I say I'm Ollie out, it's because I'm Man United first. That's why I say I'm Ollie out, because I'm Man United first.